Well, we're going to talk about this in a little more detail. Joining us live from Istanbul is Fatih Tuna. He is a lecturer in political science and international relations at Istanbul University. All right, then, what do you think has been the key factor in this rapid growth in the defense sector in Turkey?
Well, thank you very much for having me with the program. As you mentioned in your news, Turkey has really, in the last few decades, really rapidly expanded this technological capability. But what's behind it, I could say, it has its own history, lies down to what we have this result today. I mean, start from the peace operation in Cyprus, 1974, and ongoing problems we had during the years with Turkey's other issues. Sometimes even our allies didn't give us our paid army equipment, or they didn't provide us some parts that stopped Turkey doing what Turkey doing what we had to do. This is one of the reasons. The other reason I could say is where the Turkey's location is. I mean, if you look at around Turkey, it's like a war zone, south, east, west, north. Everywhere around that is really problematic areas. That's another reason that Turkey had to strengthen its defense power. And also with these groundwork, which was ready for our mind, and long-lasting governance, or in other words, political stability, provided this success also. Before the last government, which is ruling now, approximately the duration of the governments was around 1.5 years, or maybe a little bit more. So all these, put them together, location and the problems that we've been having to receive our, defensive equipment, the problems, all of these put together, Turkey had to do something to provide a strong army. And these political stability and where the Turkey is located as a, geographically, and with the long-lasting governments, and plus with the as Baykar company, private company initiative, Turkey needed this result to have it really. It was like a natural push-up that Turkey had to build up something like this. In one of the speech, our president stated that if you want a strong country, you have to have a strong army. And that's, I can say, why we have this rapid improvement in the last few decades.
All right, so growth known from history, geography and stability, you're saying. So these cutting edge technologies, like the ones we've been hearing about used in Bayraktar and Anka 3, how are they going to shape defense and the way that military campaigns happen in future?
Well, as you know, the whole world warfare system is changing, especially in last, again, 20, 30 years. According to the reason I've just mentioned you in your first question, Turkey had to compete with it. With the problem we have around us, we have to have a strong army. Starts since 2002 or 3, Turkish government started investing in this field, very high volume. And this, how could I say? For example, in the past, we used to say like Turkey will catch up such countries or such technologies. Now with this, especially with Baykar's technology, now whole world trying to catch up with Turkey. I mean, these technological maneuvers provided general defense industry conditions, but also with Turkey's this initiative made Turkey become a leading country. So it is not just providing a technological capability. We also leading the whole world. Now we're exporting, as I'm sure we're going to talk further.
Yeah, absolutely. Exporting now to 179 countries, as we've just seen, a growing and more diverse defence portfolio. But that does, of course, bring both opportunities, but also challenges, particularly when we think about navigating that interplay between business, but also international relations and Turkey's strategy. How do you see that all working?
It is, for Turkey, its exporting army is not just an exporting military equipment. It brings lots of other things with it. I mean, within itself, Turkey has to provide technological armed vehicles, UAV, as we say shortly, unmanned aerial vehicles. It is, yes, it provides some challenges and opportunities. Opportunities, I would say, as you know, Turkey now exports in nearly 180 countries, as you mentioned. These countries mainly is Africa and Asia and the Middle East. And especially last, Baykar company bought an Italian company, Pagio Aerospace. This is also another strength that Turkey will gain with this business transaction. It is for us, for Turkey, when we export an armed vehicle, it creates economical and political other opportunities. It's like you could name it as a soft power too. So in that context, Turkey will continue doing this. As I said before, this is like, it's not like just a business transaction. Turkey's situation, Turkey had to do what has to be done.
All right, Fatih Tuna from Istanbul with that insight into these changes in Turkey's defence sector. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour.